All right, so first question I have for you, survey of hands. So I'm asking, is this complementary, is this supplementary, or is this vertical? So raise your hand if you think this is complementary. Raise your hand if you think this is supplementary. Raise your hand if it's vertical. So good. So we are seeing the L, and we are seeing the 90-degree angle, correct? Okay. So the first question that I have with this problem is it's frozen, so that would be the first problem we have with this. All right, what is the equation for this example? So again, look at this pretty picture. What is the equation? So again, equation has an equal sign. And if you go back, we had written on the board for complementary that has this L, here is our formula. The angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 90. So what would we fill in, Perez? What would it say?
X plus 62 equals 90.
Good. So x plus 62 equals 90. Now, does it matter that he put x as 1 and 62 as angle 2? Does that matter? Could I have written it 62 plus x? Absolutely. All right, tomato, tomato, it's all how you see it. All right, now that I have the equation written, the question now is, well, what does x have to be then? So how would I find x? How do I find what he is? So Jaden, what would you do mathematically? Perfect. I'm going to take the 90 degrees total. I'm going to subtract the 62 that I know, and I'm going to find my answer. And really what you're doing is you're solving a one-step equation. I'm subtracting 62 from both sides. So x is going to equal, so we punch, we crunch, and Demario, you get?
28.
28. Do we agree or disagree? Agree or disagree? Agree? Okay. So x equals 28, and then make sure you add the degree symbol in there. So again, we write the equation, and then we solve for the unknown by doing the opposite. So instead of plus 62, I subtract the 62. What questions do you have? Do you see where we got the 90 from? Do you see where we got the 62 from? Do you see why we subtracted the 2 from each other? All right, so what we do in math then is I give a problem. It's called a you-do problem. You're going to do it. You're going to stand when you're done because that's your cue to me that you're done. Okay? So here is your problem. Just because it's facing the other direction does not change the method. So this says x, and that is number 31. So go ahead and... All right. Jaden, what is the equation for this? What did you write as your equation? Okay. Perez, what did you do to solve it?
90 minus 31.
Good. So Jameson, what does x equal?
59.
And then don't forget your degree symbol. All right, what questions do you have? Pretty straightforward? All right, let's now take a look at another example. All right, so example 2. All right, we have 118, and we have the variable of k.
What?
Yeah, we got stinky toes. All right, so we have 118 and we have k. So again, the first question that I'm going to ask is what's the equation? And then the second question will be how will I solve? All right, so what is the equation? How would I write an equation to solve this? So actually the first question really is complementary, supplementary, or vertical. Which one is it? So raise your hand if it's complementary. Raise your hand if it's supplementary. Raise your hand if it's vertical. Beautiful. So I know because it's supplementary, it has to equal 180. So what is my equation for this particular one going to be then? Mario, what do you got?
115
Good.
plus k
Beautiful.
equals 180.
Good job. All right. So again, angle 1, 118, plus k, which is angle 2, equals 180. How would I then go about solving this? So what am I going to do to solve? Brooklyn, what would you do to solve? Beautiful. We're going to subtract 118 from both sides or from 180. So my angle K has to equal 62, and then don't forget your degree symbol. Is there anybody that does not see where the 180 came from? Is there anybody that does not know where the 118 came from? And does everybody see that all we did was subtract the 2? All right, I've got 2 more you-dos for you. Again, stand when you're done. All right, we have 63 and X. And then we have X, 81, and 47. All right, my 7. Let's check what we got. All right, so let's take a look at this first problem. We have 63 and we have X. So first and foremost, what is the equation that I would be writing? So Brooklyn, what equation did you write?
63 plus X equals 90.
That's wrong.
Equals 90?
I mean 180.
180. And why did you pick 180?
Because it's a straight line.
Beautiful, it's a straight line. All right, how do I go about solving this then? Jason, what did you do? You gonna go from here? Okay. Marion, what did you do here? So I know a straight line is 180, so then I have to do
Minus 63.
beautiful. So I'm going to subtract 63. So that means my X has to be, class, what do we get?
117.
117. Agree or disagree? Got it? Good. All right, so there's actually 2 approaches to doing the second problem. All right, there's 2 approaches to the second problem, and all of you guys did something different, which I love seeing because there is multiple ways of doing this. All right, so without saying the equation first, what did you do as your first step? That's what I want to know. All right, so Jaden, what did you do to find X? So you did 81 plus 47 and got 128. And then what did you do with the 128? You did what with it? You put in the equation, so then you did X plus 128 equals 180. Correct? Okay. And then what did you do to the 180? And then you subtracted by 128. All right. So some of you guys did that, where you combined your 81 and your 47 first, and then you subtracted from 180. Great. All right. Did anybody do something different? What'd you do for us?
I got the total, which was 180,
Good.
and then I subtracted the 47,
Okay.
and then got the answer for that,
Okay.
and then subtracted 81.
Beautiful. Either way is going to work. All right. Understand your calculator does have a superpower where you can overload it. So you could type in 180 minus 47 minus 81 all in one line, and it will read it. Okay? But nice job on that. That's exactly how we approach both of these problems. Regardless, X then would have been Alright, what questions do you have? Alright, so we went through complementary, we went through supplementary. Let's go into this guy. We're gonna erase this. Erase this. Alright, example 4. And we're gonna crisscross. All right, so with this example, we're going to be working with vertical angles. Okay? So if I said that this angle right here was 73 degrees, and I asked, what is angle B? Now, when we've set up the equations for complementary, we said angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 90. And when we set up the equation for supplementary, we said angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180. Well, in vertical angles, we are not adding them together. We are not going to go 73 plus B equals. We said vertical angles are the same. They're congruent. They're equal. Whatever word you want to use. Angles that are across from each other are equal. So in this case, whenever I am going across my intersection, they are equal. So in this case, what is the measurement of angle B? 73. You wrote it just here. 73 equals B. B equals 73. So in this case, B is 73 degrees. Done. It is really that straightforward. That is all you do mathematically. All right, so now I'm going to take it a step further because that is that easy. We're going to draw another pair of intersecting lines, and this is your U-do. And I'm going to label this top one 102. And then I'm going to label these C, A, and T. Please tell me all three of these angle measures. All right, right off the bat, what was A? 102. How did we get it? How did we get 102? Shannon? They're across from each other. They're vertical. Equal. All right, so now I came to you guys and I said, okay, how do we find C or T? All right, and I came up to a lot of you and I took your calculator and I covered up the 102 and the T because I was trying to get you to see that these two angles together, the adjacent, the next two, make a straight line. So what did I have to do mathematically to find out what C was? I had to subtract 180 minus 102. So we discovered C was 78, which means T has to be 78. All right. What questions do you have? I will tell you, seeing straight lines is the hardest part for you guys. It's the weirdest part because you would think it's a straight line. But once you have other things going on, your brains all go, huh? Because I guarantee if I would have put this and said this was 78, this was 102, and I went, what is this? You'd be like, okay, 180 minus 102, got it. But the moment I extended this line, your brain went to mush. It's no different. It's exactly the same thing, just with an extra tail. All right, so don't hesitate with that. All right, so we're going to try something a little bit harder. Okay, just a little, just a tad bit. All right, this is actually example 4. I don't know, I'm out of count now. That says 2x and that says 122. All right, understand the process is no different. They may have added a letter, but the process is no different. Okay, so please understand that. Complementary, supplementary, or vertical, what is it that we are looking at? Jaden? Supplementary, which means it's going to add up to 180. So if I were to write this as an equation, angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180. Woo! What am I writing? How do I write this 2x and 122 as an equation? So you told me angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180. So let's change these angles and actually write what they are. So what do we want to declare? Angle 1 is 2x, and angle 2 is 122. The only difference about this one is we actually have to solve an equation. So if you remember back to 7th grade with Mr. Benzel, and you have to get rid of what's not touching and then get rid of what is touching and do it that way. All right, so how do I get rid of this plus 122? Press.
I'll subtract it away.
Good.
So, 180.
And what I do to one side, I do to the other. And then 2x equals 180 minus 122? 58, nice job. And then how do I get the 2 away from the x? What operation will I use? I'm going to divide by 2. What I do to one side, I do to the other, so x has to equal
29.
good. Nice mental math. Okay. Another way to look at this would be, I forget how to solve two-step equations. So now we're just in canceling mode. So another way we could have done this is we could have said, okay, I am starting at 180 degrees, straight line. I know 122 of it. So I know this section that is 122, he's done. So I know this other section here has to be 58. And I know 58 is 2x. So I divide 58 by the 2 to figure out what x is. So that's another visual way to do it if you forget how to solve two-step equations. Cancel what number is there, and then divide by whatever's within with it. All right? What questions do you have for me? All right. So you do have homework. It is in a worksheet format because I know you guys are sick of staring at your computer screens. At least I know I'm sick of you staring at your computer screen. And math is always more fun on paper, just because there's nothing better than actually writing and doing. It is 10 questions. I am going to apologize. In my attempt to make the bottom of the worksheet easier, I didn't make it pretty numbers. So they're actually going to come out to some decimals. I'm sorry. But when you get decimals, know that you're not wrong. Okay, so please understand that. So number 1 and 2, you're just solving it straightforward. Number 4, 5, 6, and 7, you're using that diagram. 8, 9, please understand number 9 is a triangle. A triangle is 180 degrees. So if you need to write next to number 9 equals 180, please do so. Number 10 is vertical, which means you're setting them equal. Okay? I'm going to encourage you, you have about 4 more minutes right now. Work on the bottom. That way if you have any questions, you can ask me while I'm still in the room. So I would work on number 8, 9, 10, and 11. Maybe pick one that you're looking at and you're like, I don't know how to do this. While I'm still in here so I can help you, I would appreciate it. All right, so again, your homework for math tonight is the math worksheet. I'm going to leave that up here on the board so that way when you're packing up today, you remember to take it home with you. It is due tomorrow for in class. Tomorrow, please make sure you have a dry erase marker in this classroom. We're going to be using whiteboards tomorrow to practice. So again, please make sure you have a dry erase marker, whether it's Expo or whatever brand you're planning to use. It would be mucho appreciated.